Hello, everybody. This is Dan with the Wealth Instinct. I want to share with you this little article I wrote about should you hire a coach. But first, if you could do me a favor and subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so you get notifications. So years ago, you probably heard this old phrase or joke. I don't know what you call it. What's the difference between amateurs and professionals? And the answer is that professionals have coaches. And and I used to think about this like, okay, yeah, professionals are they're a high level, and yeah, they need coaches because they're trying to play at such a high level. But I don't need a coach because I'm not at that level. But now I look at it, well, I'm not at that level because I don't have a coach, right? Like that's the difference a coach can make. And I think um, it's interesting the coaching profession has grown so much, but in some ways it's devalued coaches because now there's so many um, that you don't see as many well, I mean, there's a lot of great coaches out there, but I think because there's so many, it's just changed people's perception of it. But coaches can really make all the difference. And if you look at like anyone, like I think you would be surprised at how many people have coaches. Like even people who seem like they're completely self-made, and they are self-made, right? But people who seem like they've made it, quote unquote, right? A lot of them probably have coaches, and probably more than one, right? And like they might have coaches for different areas of life. Like I have right now, but I had for the last year and a half I worked with one coach, and that project's kind of on hold, so I've stopped working with that coach, but otherwise I would still be working with that coach. I have another coach I'm working with on another project. And then I have some other kind of informal coaches I work with that I just kind of share ideas with, and they help me in other ways. But um, you know, co coaching coaching is such a critical thing to success, I think. And when I started my first business, my first instinct was to hire a coach, and but I had so much holding me back. I actually interviewed three coaches and talked to them, and I just kind of felt like, yeah, what do they know? Is it worth it? Um, and I, I almost did it, but I hesitated, and I was just kind of afraid, and and I wonder like, well, what if I followed my initial instinct and hired a coach way back then? And my business was still successful and it still made money, but it probably took longer than it needed to. Um, One of the important things I think to realize is that um, you want a coach with a good BS meter. My One of my previous coaches that I'm still working with a little bit, I always tell people he's got a good BS meter because he was helping me create like a template to run my business, like a dashboard, right? Like the dashboard, you look at metrics, and your metrics help you make decisions, and then and also creating initiatives that help you um, accomplish what you're trying to do, right? Like it's like when you have a business, there's so many things you could do, but how do you pick initiatives to work on that align with what you're trying to do? And so he was helping me define all that stuff and create like a purpose statement and value statements and things like that. And it's so easy to come up with statements that are BS and that don't mean anything. Um, and he was really good about saying, well, what does that mean? Well, what does that mean? What are you saying by that? And really digging into the words and digging into the meaning behind it, and actually creating um, value and mission statements that mean something and that aren't just sound pretty. So I think, and too, you want someone who can hold you accountable, and if they're buying all your excuses, then they're not holding you accountable, right? Like it's like, well, you said you were going to do this many calls, or you said you were going to do this ad, or you said you were going to hire a person, and you didn't. Why not, right? And maybe you have 10 reasons why you didn't, and they might be good reasons, but you still didn't get the result, right? And so a good coach, obviously they'll be sympathetic, and but they'll help you to get the result despite your excuses, right? And that's usually what stops people, is all these excuses and things that get in the way. Um, so I think it's important to prepare, if you want to start a business or do something, a new venture, but you've got to get to that point where you take action too, right? Like there's only so much preparation. Only, you want a plan. You want to go in with a plan, and you want to be prepared, but you're going to have to do more learning on the way. Like you can't learn everything you need to know before you start. Like when you're setting up your business, like you need to know how to set up a business entity and business bank accounts, and you're going to figure that out pretty quickly and do it, and then not have to do it again for a while, right? Like, and then you're going to have to figure out, like, well, I need to find a bookkeeper and a tax person, maybe depending on your business, or I need to figure out how to set up my social media, and you might decide to learn all that on your own, or you might decide to get someone to help you with that, right? But ultimately, it comes down to taking action, and your coach can help you to focus on the right actions, because it's so easy to get overwhelmed, like, and that's where people get stuck. It's like I have 100 things to do and I don't know where to start, and the coach will say, well, you don't have 100 things to do, you have about 25. Here's the list, and start with these three, and let's talk in a week. Like they can help you just to really focus and say, and for this one, go to this website. For this one, talk to this person. For this one, you need to do this, this, and this, right? Like a coach can really keep you on task and focused, and just making those tiny little steps one at a time, and instead of just getting overwhelmed. Um, but one of the big things I think for me was, when I was telling myself, "Oh, these coaches are too expensive. They're charging too much. They're not worth it." What I was really saying was that I'm not worth it. And I couldn't see the value. And that's kind of a harsh thing to say. It's like I couldn't see the value in investing in myself, and I couldn't see how they would help me to add value to my life, right? Like, it's like, would you pay $500 a month for a coach or $1,000 a month for a coach? And the answer is it depends. If that $1,000 a month helps you make an extra 2,000 a month, like, or if it helps you grow your business exponentially, or if it helps you, um, if paying that coach $1,000 a month for 6 months, gets you in 6 months the results that would have taken you 2 years, yeah, that's worth it. And like, um, even if your coach is a bad coach, as long as they're able to keep you on task and hold you accountable and say, hey, last week you said you were going to do A, B, and C. Did you do it? Why not? Okay, when are you going to do it? Even if that's all they do, like there's value in that. But a good coach can help you, uh, to prioritize your tasks, and also to give you resources, and and help you, when you're struggling, right? And that's why you want to coach. But I think you're definitely, if you're reading this, you should definitely hire a coach, right? If you're still listening, you should definitely hire a coach, because it's something you've been thinking about and it's something you're interested in. Um, but it's hard to know where to start. And I think, a lot of coaches, just start following people and start learning about their stuff, and it's either going to turn you on or turn you off, right? And if it turns you off, then they're not the coach for you, maybe not, maybe they are, but not right now. But if you like what they're saying and it makes sense, they probably have some free webinars, they probably have some group coaching. Like you don't have to pay one-on-one coaching, because that's pretty pricey. Maybe they have a book you can read, and that book is going to help you learn about their philosophy and figure out if it makes sense for you. Um, but yeah, just explore, find some mentors. And I think this link below is really good. It's Jeff Lerner, and he's got a whole like institute he's building, right? Like he's got education, on different areas, just how to have a better life, how to have a business, what types of businesses. He also has some opportunities for, uh, private coaching, for group coaching, for different things. And the introductory, program is like almost like pretty, I don't forget what it costs, but it's pretty cheap. It's like totally worth it. And then you can learn more about like other things that he offers. And I've been working with, him for a while and following him, and I've gotten so much out of it. Um, it's I'm totally focused, on Jeff Lerner and Entra right now, and I really recommend it to everyone to check out. Well, thank you so much for watching and listening, and again, if you could follow my page and click the bell icon, I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments. All right, let's talk soon.